Nibiru. From time to time, we get inquiries about Planet X, often called Nibiru. This rogue planet supposedly passes through the Indian solar system once every few thousand years. People have claimed that each time Nibiru does this, it causes great calamity on the Earth and other planets. Some people have linked these past catastrophes to biblical events, such as the flood. It is very tempting for many Christians to link predicted return visits of Nibiru to the Indian solar system with end-time prophecies such as wormwood in Revelation 8:10 to 11. Before getting too excited about all this, we ought to ask a few questions. What is Nibiru? Is it real? Is it something that we ought to be worried about? Interest in Nibiru has peaked several times, most recently in 2012. So there probably will be a resurgence once again. Indeed, there is a book out now claiming that Nibiru will pass close to Earth in October this year, 2017. At least one website now is calling for Nibiru's return next year, 2018. The origin of the belief in this hypothetical planet is a bit murky, but we can trace it. Zechariah Sitchin. The word Nibiru comes from the ancient Akkadian language, meaning crossing, such as in fording a river. It also has the connotation of a transition point. It was with this meaning that Nibiru came to be used in Babylonian astronomy to refer to an equinox. But it can have other meanings, such as reference to the constellation Libra, which was the location of the autumnal equinox in the first millennium BC. Nibiru also can refer to locations in the sky in conjunction with certain stars or planets. Nibiru is associated with the Babylonian god Marduk, which in turn is identified with the planet Jupiter. Sitchin claimed that thousands of years ago, extraterrestrials from the planet Nibiru established the Sumerian civilization. He's hypothesized planet Nibiru has a very elongated orbit with a period of 3,600 years. Nibiru spends most of the time far from the Sun, well beyond the orbit of Neptune, but it enters the Indian solar system once each orbital period. The next step of development in the story of this hypothetical rock planet came in 1995. In 1995, Leader announced that the Cetus, as she calls these extraterrestrials, warned her that in 2003 a large planet would pass very close to the Earth, with devastating consequences that would destroy civilization. Of course, that day came and went without incidents. Later explained that this day was a white lie to fool the establishment. She says that this Planet X, as she calls it, is still coming, but she is unwilling to reveal the true date of its approach. Leader says that the government is aware of the truth of all this, but that the government covers this up. While Leader clever called her Planet X Nibiru, she announced on her website in 1996 that Planet X and the 12 planets are one and the same. Given the widespread knowledge of Sitchin's thesis, the title of his first book, and his choice of Nibiru for the name of his hypothetical planet, Leader clearly intended to equate her Planet X with Sitchin's Nibiru. However, Sitchin strongly disagreed with this equation. For one thing, Sitchin dated the last pass of Nibiru into the Indian solar system in 556 BC, with an orbital period of 3,600 years. Nibiru would not be due until about 3000 AD. However, with Leader's connection between her Planet X and Sitchin's Nibiru, many other people began to equate the two. Therefore, many people now use the terms Nibiru and Planet X interchangeably. The End of World in 2012. A few years ago, Nibiru came to be associated with the predicted end of the world on December 21st, 2012, supposedly indicated in the Mayan calendar. The kernel of this idea was the cycle of 5,126 years in the Mayan calendar. The Mayans believed that this world was created when the last cycle began. Mayan scholars generally think that the previous cycle began on August 11, 3114 BC. If this date is correct, then that cycle ended on December 21st, 2012. By the mid-1970s, some New Agers had noticed the idea and thought that the world would end on this day. Scholars of the Mayan civilization usually dismiss this notion, arguing that no Mayan writings or traditions taught such a thing. Consequently, the Mayans would have accepted the start of a new cycle without much incident, but this did not matter to the true believers. December 21st was the winter solstice that year. Due to an effect called precession of the equinoxes, the location of the equinoxes and the solstice lie along the ecliptic, the plane of the Earth's orbit in a 25,800-year cycle. The winter solstice happened to cross the galactic plane in 2012. Some New Agers reasoned that this would place the winter solstice closest to the galactic center that year. So the alignment of the sun, winter solstice, and the galactic center on the same day that the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world was apocalyptic, and hence no coincidence. From all of this, it was not too difficult to throw Nibiru into the mix, with the suggestion that the rare alignment would lead to Nibiru's pass into the Indian solar system once more, causing an end to civilization. What is the galactic alignment? It is important to define what the galactic alignment in precise astronomical terms. The galactic alignment is the alignment of the December solstice sun with the galactic equator. This alignment occurs as a result of the precession of the equinoxes. Precession is caused by the Earth wobbling very slowly on its axis and shifts the position of the equinoxes and solstice 1 degree every 71.5 years. Because the sun is 1/2 of a degree wide, it will take the December solstice sun 36 years to precess through the galactic equator. The precise alignment of the solstice point with the galactic equator was calculated to occur in 1998. Thus, the galactic alignment zone is 1998 plus or minus 18 years equal to 1980 minus 2016. This is era of 2012. This galactic alignment occurs only once every 26,000 years and was about the ancient Maya were pointing to with the 2012 end date of their long counts calendar. These are the astronomical facts of the matter. From a larger perspective, we can visualize the 2012 galactic alignment in the following way. Position A is where the December solstice sun was in relation to the Milky Way some 3,000 years ago. Position B is 1,500 years ago. And position C is era 2012, when the December solstice sun has converged as a result of the precession of the equinoxes with the exact centerline of the Milky Way galactic equator. Notice that the place of alignment is where the nuclear bulge of the galactic center is located. Descriptions of the process are also there, but it should be noted that Nick describes what I refer to as the solstice galaxy alignment with a preference for the equinox as the measuring reference. Thus, he speaks of the holy cross of the equinox axis and the Milky Way. The point is that solstice galaxy alignment and equinox galaxy cross refer to the same event. The closing of the 2012 galactic alignment, winter solstice 144, and the birth of a better age, and so it ends. Most of you will know that on the 21/12/2012, the Mayan calendar ended a grand 5,125-year-long 13th Bactrian cycle, 13th time, 144,000 days. On that same day, at 11:11, the Sun rose into conjunction with the galactic center, forming the infamous galactic alignment of 2012. There is good reason to suspect that Mayan people were indeed tracking this very event with their long count calendar, this happening being something like the 12 o'clock position, exactly why they were tracking it, and what they expected would happen. These remain points of some debate. We do know that for the Maya people, the galactic center as well as an area we know as the Dark Rift, dust clouds obscure stars near galactic center, were linked with Xibalba, the underworld, a dark place of death and rebirth. The Milky Way was often seen as the road to Xibalba. This same area is also associated with the Cosmic Mother. The Milky Way symbolizes her genitalia, with the dark rift and bulge near the center being the womb and entrance to her birth canal. For the Maya, the Sun represents First Father, the masculine element. The gradual procession of the solstice sun into this celestial area of the sky can be seen to present the penetration and fertilization of the galactic mother by First Father. As the sun moves away, he leaves the sky pregnant. A new era of profound potential is birthed soon after.